playing with the DBMM rules at the Hong Kong Society of Wargamers. 4-player game, 2 versus 2. The background to this was in the Crusades, and it is a fight between Saladin commanding the Arab army and the Guy de Lusignan, the King of Jerusalem, commanding the Crusader army. The story is that Saladin was laying siege to Tiberias, which is on Lake Galilee. You can see that on the map on the right. And the Crusaders were marching to relieve the siege. They pulled troops from all of their castles and all of their garrisons in order to make this field army. So it was really a one-shot. They had to win, and they couldn't lose this army, or they would lose the entire country. They marched through the desert, and they were a bit short of water. They hadn't judged their baggage correctly, and they were marching from to try to relieve Tiberias, and they had to pass through a narrow pass called Hattin. And Hattin was where the wells and springs were. So the Crusader army marched through the valley, and they were getting thirstier and thirstier, and they had to get to the wells at Hattin, or they would die of thirst. So Saladin knew this. He deployed his army to surround the Crusaders as they marched up, and just when they were reaching the pass of Hattin, he sprung his ambush with his very mobile troops appearing from all round the Crusader column. So this is Saladin's army. It is taken from the Ayyubid Egyptian Army List, Book 4, number 20. And it's 508 points, Army ME 88, so 44 to be defeated. It has feigned flight as its stratagem. That will be useful for getting out of trouble and pulling the clumsy Crusaders out of position. There are 4 commands. Saladin's personal command is a mix of CVS, CVO, and Turkoman Irregular Light Horse S. He has a sub-general, that is all CV, a mix of CVS and CVO. He has a light command, which is the Bedouin Arabs Light Horse O and Turkmen Light Horse S, and finally a foot command, which has the militia, the auxiliary O Javelinmen, and the Siloi. So 4 commands, 3 of them all mounted, and the other one which will hold the hill to trap the Crusaders. The Crusaders have a tough army, but it is very clumsy. So it is based on the later Crusader, Book 4, number 7. They have 508 points as well. Their Army ME is a lot bigger because they have got a lot more troops. But their troops are cheaper, a lot of them spear eye, and not so much mounted as the Arabs. So they have the one true cross in Guy de Lusignan, the CNC's command, and he is leading 6 irregular Knight-O, as well as his spear eye sergeants. The second command has also 4 irregular Knight-O. The fact that these are impetuous is going to make it hard to manage and are a prime target for the Arabs to draw out of position. And they have a smaller command with both crossbowmen and foot sergeants. Command C is a fully infantry command. It has 8 crossbowmen and also 12 foot sergeants. Command D is the most important command with the most points and the highest ME. It is the military order command. So these are the only troops who are flexible and able to move easily and maneuver without the clumsy penalty. They include 4 Knight S, who are the Templar Knights, and also the Templar Spearmen and Crossbowmen, who can maneuver much easier. They also have the 4 Turcopoles attached to their command, who should play a crucial role at protecting flanks and hunting down any light horse that get around them. So that is the Crusader army. Very tough, but 3 of the commands are totally clumsy and therefore easily outmaneuvered. This is the setup for Hattin. That the Crusaders are the blue block in the middle. They are set up first. They have 3 separate columns. It's okay to have gaps between the columns and within the columns in order to make it easier to break out and maneuver, but the troops must be set up in 3 columns. After the Crusaders are set up, then Saladin will set up. So this represents the point at which the Crusaders have discovered that they have walked into an ambush and are completely surrounded, and they have to respond. The Arabs will set up their infantry command on the scrubby hill, one of the horns of Hattin, and the other commands are set up behind the red line, going from the scrubby hill all over the bare gentle hills and right out to the back of the Crusader column. They must set up at least 5 base wits from the Crusaders so that nobody can hit each other in the first turn. The Crusaders have to exit off the top right. That is where they will find the springs and wells of Hattin that will enable their parched army to find water. The Arabs have got feigned flight, if you remember. That can be either to the southern or the eastern edge as they choose. So the Crusaders will set up first in their limited columns. Saladin will then set up all round them, and then the game will start with the Crusaders moving first, which represents their response to finding out that they are surrounded. So this is the initial setup of the Crusaders. You see the 3 columns here. At the front, we have the CNC Guy de Lusignan's command. And that is the knights plus the infantry to its side. In the central column, you have the 1 true cross and then the baggage fast behind them. Then we have in the near column the smallest one, which is knights plus crossbowmen and spearmen. On the back right, parallel to the baggage, you see the 2nd Infantry Command with crossbowmen and spearmen. And finally, at the back, you can see the military orders with the knights in the middle, the crossbowmen nearest the Arabs, and the spearmen on the far side, with the Turcoman light horse bringing up the rear. So here you see the Arab setup. They have chosen to set up in a thin line that totally surrounds the Crusaders, with the light horse around the rear of the Crusaders and the CV threatening the flank and the front, and you can just see at the bottom the infantry on the scrubby hill. So this is the 2nd Arab command with the CV, who have the black flags, the CVS with the black flags, and the CVO with the other flags, waiting on the bare gentle hill to shut the door on the Crusaders. This is the middle command, their CV and O and CVS, who are threatening the flank of the Crusaders. This is the Arab infantry on the scrubby hill. It is Horde, Siloy, and also Auxiliary O. They are just to hold the door to prevent the Crusaders hiding from the Arab mounted on this hill. So this is the overall position. You can see the Crusaders set up in the middle with the Arabs all around them ready to swarm the Crusader columns. Not a great setup for the Crusaders. If you were fighting this as a straight fight, the principle would be for the Crusaders prevent the Saladin's army from getting behind him, but on this setup they are already behind the Crusaders. So a tough setup for the Crusaders. This is the first move at the front of the column. So you can see both infantry lines have turned out in order to protect the flanks of the column, turning in both directions, creating a corridor in the middle. The intention is for the knights to hammer a escape route, and then the baggage and the rest of the army to march up this corridor in between. Now, the knights of the second command have turned towards the scrubby hill. The commander thought that they would be able to charge the Arab infantry on the hill. It was only when he got close that he realized how rough the ground was and how that would not work going uphill against in the scrub. So that means that those knights are a little bit out of the fight since it's so hard for them to maneuver. Okay, so this is the zoomed out picture. You can see the front of the column, the knights turning off to go up the against the rough hill, and the Commander-in-Chief Guy de Lusignan in the Red Knights, who is holding his knights back to prevent them being impetuous, while the rest of the command protects the flanks. Okay, here's what happens at the back of the line. The infantry column as well turns into line, and that protects the flank very thoroughly with two ranks of spear eye. You can also see the military order response. They have turned the crossbowmen into a solid line. The knights are waiting behind them. On their flank is the Turcoman, and bringing up the rear are the spearmen. So this is a good pips that the Crusaders got to do all of this maneuvering. However, the military order does look a bit weak at the hinge, and those Turcomans might get swamped by the more numerous the Turcopoles might get swamped by the more numerous Arab irregular light horse S. Okay, here's a close-up of that position. You can see spearmen solid, crossbowmen solid, but the hinge looking weak, only protected by those light horse S. So this is the view of the Crusader column at the end of their first turn from the Saracen lines. They rolled good pips and so were able to respond across the board, turning their flank columns outwards, deploying their knights at the front, and being able to set up a sort of defense from the military order at the back, although it wasn't complete. The Saracens roll good pips, 5, 4, 3, 3, and so are well set up to take advantage of the weaknesses in the Crusader position. Here you can see an overview of what the Saracen army has done. The infantry auxiliary have advanced forward off the in order to try to squeeze the front of the Crusader column. The cavalry on the Bear Gentle Hill on the left has advanced to the edge of the hill, again squeezing down the space for the Crusader to deploy at the front and move through the pass. They have left a small contingent of cavalry facing the flank of the Crusader in order to keep them pinned there. The rest of the cavalry, the CVS, has moved towards the back of the column to join the attack on the military order. At the back, the Bedouin Light Horse O have gone wide, looking to flank round the rear guard and come in and attack the baggage or the rear of any troops. The Turkoman have raced forwards and are directly putting pressure now on the military order rearguard. Here you can see how the Crusader has responded. They have moved forwards at the front to put more pressure on the rough hill that the Arab infantry is occupying. Their knights have advanced as well, taking, perhaps that's not so great, taking them even further out of the game. On the flank, the infantry all advanced in order to create a bit more room and push the Saracen cavalry back. However, they only advanced in one column, because in one rank, because that is enough for Spear Eye to hold off the cavalry, and that enables a column here, for example, to start making their escape to the exits. The baggage has also moved forwards to try to escape. They couldn't move the True Cross because that requires extra pips in order to move, but the baggage fast can move easier. The knights held at the front, and the military order deploying at the back. So this shows the close-up of the front. The front rank stepped forwards in order to put more pressure on the Arab cavalry. The rear rank stayed in position. They're still protecting flank because the heavy infantry only moved forwards 160 paces. Okay, on the other side, here we can see the smallest Crusader command advancing to try to put some fire down onto the Arabs on the rough hill. Here we see the Arab response. The Auxiliario have moved further forwards onto the hill, looking to engage the Crusader infantry. The Arab cavalry here have arranged a flank attack on the end of the spear line, but they got bounced by the spears and had to recoil backwards. Okay. At the far end, the Turcopoles have been engaged by the Turkoman, and there is a melee in process there. So this is the close-up on the combat. The spearmen were engaged, but managed to bounce the attacking cavalry. This will set this one up for a charge from the knights next turn. Okay, this is the position at the back. The protecting Turcopole got sucked away by a column of Turkoman cavalry because he's just one element, and they were multiple elements. That created the space for a Turkoman light cavalry to get in and hard flank the archers here. That is very dangerous. They could last for quite a bit if they don't have overlaps against them, but if they are flanked like that, then they can die quite quickly. And this cavalry is not really deployed yet. It's not ready to support the front lines if they get hit, although the spearmen are in a fairly strong position. Okay, on the Crusader turn, the Crusaders charge in on the lone CV here, but only manage a lock. They can quick kill, but they weren't lucky in their combat. So they are now stuck there. We'll see how it goes next turn and whether they are able to keep their formation. The Crusader crossbowmen up here opened fire on the CVO on the hill and managed to kill one with their first shot by doubling up, so that is more casualties to the Arabs. This is the overview of the situation at the end of the turn. You can see a mess of light horse now piling in on the military order command. The the two archers who were hard flanked here, they had an equal result, a draw in their turn, but unfortunately in their own turn they lost, and so that has opened up a big hole here with lots of light cavalry ready to exploit a big gap between these archers and these spearmen, with the cavalry not deployed to cover it with any threat zones. So that's a high risk for this command. The archers have been successful. They moved onto the steep hill and they've managed to start shooting up one horde and pushing another back, although there is a slope in between, so they will not be able to do this again. So this is the casualties. There are the two archers who died from the hard flanking, and this is the Arab casualties: one horde, one shot by the crossbow, and one light horse killed by hard flanking from the archers. In the Arab turn, the Arabs take full advantage of the gap in the Crusader line and the light horse pile in. They attack the flank of the archers and also go beyond the flank to attack the flank of the knights, who will have to turn and face them. The spearmen are engaged at the front. One of the Turcopoles has got trapped in front of the Crusader formation, with him unable to recoil with a big crowd of Turkomans in his face. The Bedouin light horse O are steadily moving round the flank of the Crusaders to try to get to the baggage behind them. The CV are closing in on the Crusader line. They are threatening the spearmen, although the spearmen are positioned to protect the flanks on the two sides. So this is the high level position at the front. The Arabs on the hill have decided to go back to protect themselves from the crossbowmen in the Crusader line. The CV are still threatening the flank of the formation, but have not moved forwards off the hill. So the knights are able to kill the CV in front of them, and but are unfortunately forced to advance forward since they are impetuous troops. So the Arab has sacrificed some of his CVO in order to try to draw the knights out of position. The baggage continues to move up, and the spear line looks solid across the board, but there is that trouble at the back. Here you can see that the archers are left vulnerable, and the knights are now engaged with the light horse. In the Crusader turn, one of the knights turned to attack the CV, and the others are left to go forwards with a move. So they are going to have to take a hit first, but then they are hoping that their counter punch will be decisive. The other set of irregular knight O's decide that they can achieve nothing near the rough terrain and turn and start heading off to help their colleagues in the military order at the rearguard. Okay, this is the mess at the back of the Crusader line. So the Crusaders countercharge the light horse that has penetrated behind the archers, with the knight S taking the lead. And the spearmen, there is a hole next to the spearmen now, so the military order being gradually whittled down. So here you see that position at the back of the Crusader line. So the losses are mounting. The bow has killed 3 horde on the hill. At the front, the Arabs have lost 2 cavalry, and the middle command has lost 1 cavalry and 1 light horse. On the other hand, the flank attack on the archers succeeds, so now the archers have lost 4 elements, as well as 1 Turkoman light horse. So since these are all in the same command, the losses are dangerous for that big military order command. Okay. The Arabs countercharge the knights, so they come off the hill and they hit the 1 knight who is hard flanked. The others are a bit short of pips, so they hold on the hill, hoping to be able to charge downhill later. At the rear, the Turkomans are methodically wiping out the archers, going into one of them from behind, and also lining up to take down the Turkomans near the spearmen. The light horse O is continuously pushing round into the gap behind the military order, threatening the baggage, and the military order don't have enough troops to stop them. So here you can see the losses ranking up. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the crossbowmen now dead, and 2 archers, 8, 9. That has pushed the military order command to disheartened, and as disheartened, it will accelerate its defeat. Only 1 irregular spear eye has been killed from the other commands. Okay, the Arab attack was not very successful on the front. That the knights were able to strike the cavalry here, and also this is a column that has been coming up from the second command, was able to engage another CV here. The general managed to defeat a lone CV in this location, and also the knights have now gone impetuous and clattered into the CV on the hill. They might well lose 1 or 2 because these are CBS and they're coming downhill, and the knights are not able to protect their own flank because they moved forward impetuously. Okay, so this was the knight going in on those CV and locking both of them down, with the crossbowman coming up behind in order to close the door. So that does not look good for these 2 CV, or this one who is also threatened from 2 sides and has no safe retreat either because of the knight general Guy de Lissignon waiting behind him. On the other hand, the troops are going down fast at the back. Here we can see there's only one archer left. The Turkomans have run over that archer formation, and these troops are all disheartened now, so will go down even faster. You can see a couple trying to hold the line, but gaps where and one lone Turkoman trying to hold the line against three Arab light horse. The Turkomans go in to try to hold the line against the light horse O of the Bedouin, but as they are disheartened, they are not quite as potent as they used to be. Okay. They do have the knights coming to help them, however. So the losses so far, the Arabs have lost 1 CVS and 3 CV from the front command, getting very close to disheartened. Then they have lost 3 Horde, 3 CV / Turkoman from their light horse command. Okay, so this is the Arabs countercharging the knights. They come off the hill. They are able to have a downhill charge from CVS with overlaps on one knight, and the other set of knights get hard flanked by sucking the knights over because they have to conform to the guys in front. So 2 of the knights in jeopardy there. Also, the auxiliaries are now in place to engage the Crusader spearmen, and they start hard flanking them. At the back of the line, the remaining Crusader knights and light horse are starting to get swamped by the huge numbers of Arab light troops. One is holding the line heroically, but these troops' days are numbered. They're going down. So extra Turkoman falling now that they're disheartened, so this command is teetering on the edge of being broken. And we can see those 2 knights, one hard flanked and one from the CVS coming down the hill, 2 kills on the knights at the front for the Arabs. The Arab losses are not growing very significantly at this stage. Okay. However, this is where the knights are going to get to strike back. So they are fighting over here against the CV, and then they'll be able to move in here. So even though they lost 2 in the fight, they are now able to counterpunch. This one is threat zoned, but the blue one at the back will be able to break out and engage the CV that is hard flanking the other knights. The baggage train continues to move forwards. The entire infantry command is now moving away to try to get to Hattin. There is a rear guard that has been abandoned back here. There is just not enough pips to be able to get it out. It looks like it will be going down along with the military order rearguard. Okay, this is the counterpunch from the knights. They were able to eliminate one other unit here and also eliminate another. So now they have broken the Arab command. Both of the CV up here were destroyed, one by the knights and one by being caught by the bowmen while the knights were blocking its retreat. So you can see this command is now well over its broken limit, so the front of the Crusaders are now clear. That command is broken, will be running for the hills and won't be able to stop them. The There's 4 casualties that have been done on the Saladin's command. That is looking a little bit shaky. It needs to be pushed to 7 in order to be disheartened and made ineffective. Okay, so this is the overall position. You can see the big bulk of the Crusader infantry now getting out of the trap, and there is nobody to stop them because that big CV line has evaporated as a result of the night charges. These knights are getting close enough to the military order to support at just the time that the military order command evaporates. So they might arrive just in time to die. And the cavalry at the front of the line are finished off. That will shatter the command, and they will be off to the hills. The infantry are now moving out of the trap. There's now nobody to stop them, going up onto the Bear Gentle Hill and away to Hattin. The baggage is moving along with them. The knights are coming in to try to rescue the military order command, but they have got light horse S round their flank, and they are very clumsy, so they might well be swarmed by light horse as well. Here we can see the military order performing a heroic rearguard action. They are holding the light horse back with their knights and with their spearmen. The knights are ready to engage, but there's not much left of the military order to rescue. There's some threatening light horse that have burst through, who will either be able to engage the knights from behind or run through to try to capture the baggage. Okay, the knights went in on the light horse, but unfortunately lost and bounced backwards. They are going to find it hard to protect their rear against the light horse behind them. The Adath militia on the hill are starting to swarm the few Crusaders who dared to go up the hill. The crossbowmen are being very effective at shooting up horde, but they have a large number of Siloi who are looking to attack them from behind. So in total, 3 knights were lost from the front, defeating the front command of the Arabs. Here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this military orders with a ME of 32 has reached its 1/3 point and has now broken. So that entire command will be running away, and only the knights able to hold. The front command of the Arabs has broken, and no significant extra casualties on the Arabs. Okay, here we can see the Adath militia swarming the Crusaders from front and side. This is the problem for the Crusader knights, that they have these light horse that have penetrated behind them, and they are clumsy. Only the general can really maneuver to protect their rears. So very hard for the Crusaders to avoid being attacked in the rear here. The Crusaders fight hard. They manage to kill one more CVS from the knights before they go down to the swarming light horse. The infantry are now heading off and are safe over the hill. So about half the army has been saved, the front command and also the infantry command. It is the rest of the rear guard that has been lost. And here we can see one of the spearmen that has been eliminated. That is opening up the rear and side of these crossbowmen to be attacked by the Siloi. Okay. So here we can see the Turkomans closing in on the baggage. They're able to destroy one baggage, but they have not got to the true cross yet. Here we can see they destroyed one baggage. The spearmen are maneuvering to protect the rear of the baggage because they know that the true cross is quite strong and can fight enemies off for a while. Okay, here we can see the last of the military order fleeing. You see the spearmen going here, the archers wiped out, and the knights have now been wiped out as well. So now the Arabs will need to reorganize before they press in on the rear of the fleeing Crusader column. Here we see a line of spearmen who have been abandoned by their command. They form a rear guard. They never got the pips to be able to move out, and even if they move out on their own, they would be unable to protect themselves against the very mobile Arab cavalry. So this is the casualties at the end of the game. We can see the military order command totally wiped out. Heavy casualties in the knights of the front command. The other two commands at this stage relatively undamaged. At increasing losses in the commands of the Arabs, particularly Saladin's command. He's lost a CVS there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses. He would be disheartened above 7, so yeah, he would only need to lose one more CVS to be disheartened. So still something to play for. The Turkomans engage the true cross. However, it proves a tough nut and bounces them, enabling the rest of the baggage to get to safety. However, the knights have been surrounded. They couldn't control their impetuosity and have gone forwards. So one column has been surrounded with 2 hard flanks, and another knight has been hit from behind. So it's likely that they will lose both of those knights. And that's what they do. So with both those knights dead, that command is also pushed to breaking point. Together with the losses from rear attack on the crossbows, that command breaks, and with that the entire army breaks. So that is a victory to Saladin's army. The front of the army got away. They forced their way through the Arab command there, breaking it, and got the second infantry command out, but they lost their 2 other commands. The most important being they lost the entire military orders, who are really the backbone of the Crusader resistance and the army, and also the flanking command, who were protecting them on the left flank. So an overall win for the Arabs, but a very fun game. Lots of dice rolling, lots of action, and it could have gone a different way at a different point. If we replay it again, we might well try different strategies on that one. So we'll hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.